Mark Zuckerberg plans to cut 5% of his workforce.
That's about 3,600 people.
One Silicon Valley company are bracing for pink slips today.
Just in the first few months of 2025, Microsoft fired more than 6,000 workers, including 2,000 software engineers.
Another major company announced a big round of layoffs. Microsoft started sending out layoff notices to employees this morning.
Actual coders who build the software we all use are no longer needed. Meta, the company behind Facebook, laid off 3,600 employees, saying it wants only top performers.
Meta, owner of Facebook, is trimming 5% of its workforce.
In other words, if you're not the best, you're out. And it's not just those two. Almost any tech company you can think of, they are all downsizing. So why is this happening, and can we hope for better days? When you think of layoffs, you probably think of tough economic situations being the driver. But what we are witnessing is companies making record revenues, yet they keep downsizing. These job cuts are not just about saving money. They point to a much bigger change happening in the tech world. It is no surprise that the rise of artificial intelligence, AI, is one of the main reasons for recent job cuts. AI is now able to do tasks that humans used to do, especially in fields like law, finance, tech support, and even coding. This means fewer humans are needed. A new poll of 1,023 workers has revealed something alarming. 26% of employees are afraid AI will take away their jobs. That's more than 1 in 4 people fearing they'll be replaced by a machine. Even worse, 17% are worried AI will make mistakes, errors that could cost money, or even lives in some industries. AI is moving fast, but our ability to control it isn't. People fear they're becoming invisible in a system that now favors algorithms over experience. This is very worrying. For years, people believed AI would help humans work better, not replace them. But now we are seeing the opposite. Is this just the beginning of a massive change in how we work? The CEO of AI company Anthropic, Dario Amodei, recently gave a chilling warning. He said AI could wipe out 50% of all entry-level office jobs in the next 5 years.
I worry that those things are going to be first augmented, but before long, replaced by AI systems.
That could push unemployment in the US to 20%, a level not seen since the Great Depression. But how soon could this happen? That is a question that is hard to answer. But what we are sure of is that AI is advancing very fast, and because of how fast it is advancing, society may not have enough time to adapt to the pressure AI is bringing into the work environment. So we may be closer to the tech job apocalypse than we think.
I'm a little bit more worried about the labor impact simply because it's happening so fast that yes, people will adapt, but they may not adapt fast enough.
Startups like Retool are already using AI to replace workers and cut costs. They use powerful AI tools to do what employees once did. Even worse, Amodei says both the government and AI companies are hiding the real dangers of AI. Why? Because they don't want to scare the public or fall behind China in the race to control AI. But can we really afford to keep ignoring the warning signs? Tools like OpenAI's GPT and Google's Gemini can now write code, fix bugs, and explain complex logic better and faster than most human developers. GitHub Copilot and Meta's Code Llama are helping companies replace teams of junior developers. The logic is, why hire a person who needs breaks, makes mistakes, and has limits when AI can do it instantly and without rest? Customer service? That's already gone. AI bots like ChatGPT and Claude handle support calls, answer emails, and deal with angry customers. And they do it politely, 24/7. Without ever needing sleep. And the scary part is that they're actually better at it than most humans. They remember everything, they don't lose patience, and they learn faster every day.
Listening to you and doesn't make you restate yourself. It's much less frustrating as a user interface.
Creative work, the one thing we thought was safe, is now being taken over too. AI can create music, videos, images, voices, and even full-blown marketing campaigns in minutes. OpenAI's Sora can generate realistic videos just from text, and Google's VO3 with hyper-realistic video generation that also integrates audio. In ad agencies and film studios, entire human teams are being replaced by a single person using a few AI tools. The impact is so big that renowned Hollywood producer Tyler Perry had to halt the debut of his $800 million studio when he saw what AI could do. Now, that is thousands of jobs lost. In finance, AI is doing the work of analysts better. At Morgan Stanley, it handles client advice, fraud detection, and real-time decisions that used to take teams of experts. In medicine, Google's MedPalm 2 outperforms doctors on medical exams. They can diagnose rare diseases, process medical history, and offer treatment plans in seconds. In factories, robots like Tesla's Optimus Gen 2 are walking, picking up tools, checking quality, and doing work that used to belong to humans. While AI is a huge concern, it is not the only reason why we are seeing massive tech layoffs in 2025. Another factor to consider is the phase of tech business growth we are in right now. Let's talk about money first. This is a problem that has been brewing for some years now, and finally, in 2024, the tech world hit a funding wall. Venture capital almost disappeared. In the United States, VC funding surged by 34.6% to $148.8 billion. But it was not all good news. The number of startups that benefited dropped by 46%. This shows that there is a shift in where investments are going. And with many startups being cut off from receiving funding, it is only natural that most of their staff would soon be without jobs. Most recently, in April of 2025, VC investments dropped by $489 million to $4.7 billion compared to the same period in 2024. The response has been troubling as many tech companies are now in a panic mode. Many startups are not building anymore. They're just trying to survive. The flashy expansion phase is over. Companies are shrinking because this is becoming the only way to stay alive. Even where money still exists, it's no longer going to people. Investors are now throwing cash into AI infrastructure, not startups. Big money is going into data centers, chips, and government-led AI projects. Take Microsoft, for example. The company reported a 13% increase in revenue, reaching $70.1 billion, and a net profit of $25.8 billion. Despite this, the company laid off over 6,000 employees, approximately 3% of its workforce.
Just weeks after reporting strong sales and profits, Microsoft announced a fresh round of layoffs.
Another factor is the impact of remote jobs. We must recognize that the tech world is changing a lot, and many workers may not realize how serious it is. In 2025, remote work and contract jobs are breaking down the traditional full-time tech jobs. The stable jobs with good pay and benefits that many people relied on are disappearing fast. Instead, companies want to hire temporary contract workers who can be brought in and let go easily. This change is not only how companies hire now, but also a big reason for many layoffs in tech. This shift started during the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. When offices had to close, companies allowed people to work from home. At first, this was only a temporary solution, but companies soon saw they could save a lot of money by cutting office costs and hiring workers from anywhere in the world. Suddenly, a software engineer in a small town could work just as well as one in Silicon Valley. By 2023, remote jobs in tech had grown more than 3 times compared to before the pandemic. This seemed like a good thing, but it also gave companies a reason to move away from hiring full-time employees. Data shows that the hybrid and full remote jobs are becoming a major part of job listings. In tech, about 16% of new job listings are for remote workers, and 27% are for hybrid workers who only need to clock in a few times a month. One clear warning sign of how remote work is reshaping the job market is the sharp rise in hybrid jobs, positions where employees split their time between home and the office. Research shows that hybrid job listings have exploded from only 9% of all new tech jobs in early 2023 to almost 25% by early 2025. That's a huge jump in just 2 years. Fully remote jobs also grew, going from 10% to 13% in the same period, though that number has stayed mostly steady recently. This shift is more than just a change in where people work. It's a huge sign that full-time, traditional jobs are in serious trouble. The fact that hybrid and remote job postings are now leveling off shows companies are making this flexible work style permanent. They don't have to pay for health insurance, retirement plans, or other benefits. Websites like Upwork and TopTal, once just for side jobs, are now where companies find many important tech workers. Both startups and big tech firms prefer this model because contract workers are cheaper, easier to fire, and can work from anywhere. Because of this, full-time tech jobs are disappearing quickly. The result is many layoffs. In the first half of 2025, over 22,000 tech workers lost their jobs in the US, and 16,000 of these layoffs happened in February alone. But these layoffs are not just about saving money during tough times. They are part of a plan to make teams smaller and hire more contract workers instead. The big question is, what comes next? The future of layoffs in tech looks worse than many realize, and there are several reasons why this trend is likely to continue and even get tougher. Then there's the mess caused by tariffs by the Trump administration. These trade barriers made it more expensive and complicated to get parts and materials, especially from China. This This hit tech companies hard since they depend on smooth global supply chains to build hardware and gadgets. Many companies had to cut costs because of these higher prices and uncertainty. Reports show that after the tariffs started, tech hiring slowed down by about 20%. Some companies froze hiring or laid off workers just to stay afloat. According to CNN, the Trade Uncertainty Index is up by 846%, making it impossible for tech companies to have safe projections. What's worse is that this trade uncertainty isn't going away soon. New tariffs or trade conflicts could still pop up, making businesses nervous about investing or hiring long-term. Without clear trade policies, companies will keep cutting jobs or avoid hiring full-time workers. Tech layoffs are increasing, but this doesn't mean the industry is dying. It just means the way tech jobs work is changing. People who learn new skills and adjust to these changes will have a better chance to succeed in the new tech world.